Hi everyone, I'm Scott from Sharky's Floral and Greenhouses, and today we're talking about slow release fertilizer. So this is Osmocote. It is a good brand of slow release fertilizer, and what it is, it's just kind of a pelletized, there's little pellets of fertilizer, and it goes in your soil, on your hanging basket, your pots, your containers, and what happens is when you water, it gives just trace amounts of nutrients that'll go into the soil and will go up into the plant. So it's a good thing to have. But I really want to hammer this down and dispel some myths, because a lot of people get tripped up on this. So the slow release fertilizer is not a substitute for a good fertilizer like our Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer. It's good to have, but this does not replace your once a week with the Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer. And follow me with this. So if I was like, you know what, I'm going to start taking a multivitamin. That's good, right? That's a good thing. But I would not say, oh, you know what? I took a multivitamin this morning. I'm good. I'm not going to have breakfast. I'm not going to have lunch. I'm not going to have dinner. I'm good because I took my Flintstone vitamin. You wouldn't say that, right? I mean, that's ridiculous. And a lot of people do that with the slow release fertilizer with their plants and flowers, and it doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work in that capacity, because it's only giving a very, very trace amount of nutrients every time that you water. So it's not enough to sustain those plants and flowers. You have to have the meat and potatoes, okay, of a good fertilizer. But it's not a bad thing. It's good. It's good to have, but think of it as vitamins, your Flintstone vitamins, steak and potatoes, your hearty meal, okay? They're two kind of different things. So they're compatible, but you can't just go with this. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with a slow release fertilizer. It's just that as long as you understand what it is and what it is not. And even with a lot of soils, they advertise that right on the soil. And so this is Sun Grow. This is a good soil. We use Sun Grow, we use Jolly Gardener. Those are both good quality soils. But it has right on here, enriched with controlled release fertilizer. What's a controlled release fertilizer? Well, it's a slow release fertilizer. So a lot of people, and we realize this because those people come into our greenhouses and they ask us or they tell us, a lot of people think that's good. And they were like, I planted up my flowers and it just weren't doing anything. And we start digging into the questions and we start asking, and well, are you fertilizing once a week then? And they're like, oh no, I don't need to fertilize once a week because my soil has slow release fertilizer in it. No, wrong. It doesn't work like that, okay? Again, go back to, can you live off of a Flintstone vitamin every day? No, you can't. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with it. It's good. It helps, but it's not a substitute. So I hope I'm clear on that, and I hope I kind of dispel that misnomer. It just doesn't do the trick. You have to be feeding once a week. Of course, we suggest the Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer because it's really good stuff. So these are compatible together. And some people ask, well, I put slow release fertilizer in, and should I fertilize with the Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer? Yeah, absolutely. We do. I mean, all these hanging baskets, that's what we'll be doing. And sometimes we're fertilizing twice a week. So especially early on in the spring, we want to get everything going. So I just want to show I've got a hanging basket here, and I'm just going to take a handful of the Osmocote. And there's a couple different versions. This is the pink can of Osmocote. There are the green ones. Either or is fine. But I'll take a pretty good handful, and with a 12-inch hanging basket. So I've got a pretty good handful, and I'm just gonna go through it, and you can sprinkle it in. I actually like to, once I have it sprinkled in, to poke it down, because then I know that it's down in the soil. It just has a better chance of being more wet because it's kind of encapsulated by the soil. So I actually like to go through and poke it around my plants. You can see there are 5 little baby petunias in here, and these are proven winners petunias. So that goes in, but a handful on a 12-inch hanging basket. That's pretty good. Then I just tap it and get that soil to cover back up and cover up that slow release fertilizer. Now, will you get a lot of these fertilizers, the slow release fertilizers will say, feeds up to 4 months. Yeah, maybe under the absolute best case scenario, maybe it does, but you can figure a month, maybe 2 months, and I would go through and I go through, you know, like, yeah, once we start hitting into summer, I might take another handful and go through and poke it into the soil again, and it just gives me, again, it gives me that little bit of extra little boost that every time it's getting water, it's getting just a little bit of trace amounts. So that's what we do on all of our hanging baskets. This whole greenhouse will be absolutely full of thousands of hanging baskets, and they will all have a handful of Osmocote that we put in and kind of punch it in. So it helps. It's great to have, but remember, it's not in any way, shape, or form is it a substitute for feeding once a week. Okay, so I hope I'm clear on that. So we hope you enjoy these videos, and please give us a thumbs up. You know, if you're watching, that really helps helps get our videos out to more people. So if you give a thumbs up, you know, once you're watching our videos, and be sure to subscribe so that you know when we post a new video to YouTube. And if you go into the little subscribe button, there's a little bell icon. You hit that, and that way YouTube will tell you that, hey, we posted a new video, check it out. So we'll hope you do that and hit the thumbs up, give us a like, give us a share. And also another great place to go is our beatyourneighbor.com website. And we have a lot of articles, a lot of blog articles. There's hundreds of articles on there, all kinds of different gardening stuff. So I'm sure there's something that you'd be interested in. So check it out. Go to the beatyourneighbor.com website. And of course, we have our Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer there, but we have a lot of different products on there too. So, and we've been adding products, new products just about daily. So check that out at our beatyourneighbor.com website. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.